moving to Wisconsin but not sure exactly where? Let's compare Wisconsin's two biggest cities, Madison and Milwaukee. Now, maybe city living isn't your thing, and that's totally okay. We're going to be touching on not only Madison and Milwaukee and the surrounding areas, but what I like to call is the Goldilocks zone. I'm Josh Brost, your go-to Madison, Wisconsin real estate agent, and it's time for us to compare. Now, if you're moving to Wisconsin for the very first time, you can find all different lifestyles depending on the area that you're choosing to look in. Maybe you're craving that downtown life where you're close to coffee shops and restaurants and everything's walkable. Or maybe you have a growing family and you just need the space. There is something for everybody. And whatever you specifically desire, Madison and Milwaukee areas offer a lifestyle that's suitable for everybody. In fact, nearly 40% of the state's population live in either the Madison metro area or the Milwaukee metro area. And when we take a look at both metro areas, it is clear that Milwaukee's metro area is over 2 times as big as Madison's metro area. Now, if we flip that and compare that to the Madison proper population, it's about 280,000, where Milwaukee proper population is 560,000. Madison's population is on a slight increase year over year, and Milwaukee's is on a slight decrease year over year. But I think both of these cities would offer someone who is looking for a city downtown life that isn't overly chaotic. In Milwaukee, this is where you will find the taller buildings, the skyscrapers. You'll see the Cream City brick, it's called, with the Gothic style architecture. It truly is some beautiful architecture in Milwaukee. While in Madison, the staple building of the architecture here is the Wisconsin State Capitol, because Madison is the capital of Wisconsin. And the building itself is truly magnificent. It really kind of towers over the skyline. So if you are looking for that true traditional big city life, you may enjoy Milwaukee more, but it is not going to be very similar to even the bigger cities in the nation. Think like New York, Chicago. It's going to be such a different feeling even from those. But if you're in Wisconsin and you want the biggest city possible, it's going to be Milwaukee. But if you're looking for a little bit more of a tight-knit community feel, where you can kind of see people that you recognize on the street, Madison's definitely going to be the option for you. It is a little bit smaller. It definitely has a smaller city feel, mid-sized city feel, but you still kind of get that luxury of having an urban feeling when you're living here as well. Both Milwaukee and Madison have some really great events and dining options. And speaking of events, we're going to dive into those next. For instance, in Milwaukee, this is where you'll find the Wisconsin State Fair, Summerfest, which is a festival put on during the summer. Clever name, but it's like a huge festival. It lasts, I swear, I think like 3 weeks, maybe a month even. You also have things like the Shamrock Shuffle, which is coming up here during St. Patrick's Day, and a lot of other festivals that are kind of intermixed throughout the entire year. If you're a pro sports fan, Milwaukee has the Milwaukee Brewers and Milwaukee Bucks. Great for tailgating, just great to go to a game in general. And if you're not a Milwaukee sports fan, now's your time to do it. Milwaukee, being the biggest city in the state, definitely has some great events, but Madison holds its own. Popular annual events here in Madison include Art Fair on the Square, concerts on the Square, Taste of Madison. All of those are located downtown in the square, it's called, around the Capitol building. And then also downtown on the square during the summer is the Dane County Farmers Market, which is the best, the greatest farmers market in the country, in the entire country. Madison is also home to the University of Wisconsin, so you get Badger games, so Badger football, Badger volleyball, Badger basketball. You're going to be entertained from that perspective if you like college athletics as well. Now, maybe you're not a people person, maybe events, big events aren't your thing, you're trying to get away, maybe with yourself, significant other, a group of small friends. What are some options for you? Let's start with Madison. And let me tell you, Madison definitely knows how to get up and get active. Madison's actually one of the most fit cities in the entire country. It's consistently ranked high, and it's a platinum level bike city, which not every city comes close to that. I think there's only a handful, maybe a half dozen of cities that get that honor. On the outskirts of Madison, there's some really great hiking options, specifically Devil's Lake State Park, which is absolutely beautiful, and then Blue Mountain State Park, which is where that driftless area of Wisconsin starts. Madison is also known as the city of 4 lakes, so you have plenty of options for water sports, kayaking, fishing, anything relating to the water. You will have the ability to do so in Madison. Madison also has a few live theater options for musicals, plays, comedy shows, things of that nature. And they also have this very unique area called State Street, which is a pedestrian-only area filled with restaurants, boutique shops, bars, and that goes right through the heart of campus. So if you are around college aged, or maybe you are thinking about going to college here, it's definitely something you have to check out. Now, Milwaukee offers a lot of similar activities that Madison does, whether it's the hiking or walking on the numerous trails around the Milwaukee area, or water sports on Lake Michigan or other various lakes around the Milwaukee area. You can even freshwater surf in Milwaukee on Lake Michigan. If you are looking for a new hobby and you're moving to Wisconsin, that's your ticket right there. Milwaukee's 3rd Ward District is filled with restaurants, bars, and really great nightlife. They also have the Milwaukee Public Market over here too, so it's just a nice little area to hang out in. And if you're a golfer like me, you'll be happy to know that Wisconsin was ranked #1 by Golf Digest for the best public courses in the entire country, #1. And most of those courses are gonna be found around the Milwaukee area. They have some really great courses that are nationally recognized. If you're into music, you can take in a concert at the Rave, or you can check out things like the Milwaukee Art Museum. You can go on historic brewery tours, and you can even tour the Harley-Davidson Museum. Now, maybe you are done with city living. You are truly looking to escape urban living or anything closely resembling it. Madison and Milwaukee areas have great options for those too. And first of all, Madison and Milwaukee are not far from each other at all. So if you live in one of these areas and you want to switch it up for a bit and you want to go to Milwaukee or Madison, vice versa, it's very easy to do during a day, and it really just gives you a different perspective, maybe a different feel for what you're looking for just for a day, and you don't have to live there. But I know big cities aren't for everyone, so allow me to introduce to you guys the Goldilocks zone. That's what I'm going to call it. The Goldilocks zone is what I'm calling cities that are not really considered suburbs of Madison because they're not close enough, or they're not considered suburbs of Milwaukee because they're not close enough to Milwaukee either. So it kind of incorporates cities like Lake Mills, Johnson Creek, Jefferson, Watertown, just to name a few. All these areas are going to be small towns, but for the most part, they're going to be pretty much equidistant to Milwaukee or Madison, which makes it a great location, especially if one person works in Milwaukee and one person of your family works in Madison. The real estate market here can get a little competitive just because these cities are lower on the population, so there's not nearly as many homes out there for sale, and it's in that great location like I mentioned. The last thing we will take a look at is the approximate affordability of these areas. So we're gonna look at Madison, the suburbs of Madison, the Milwaukee proper area, the suburbs of Milwaukee, and then that Goldilocks zone. These numbers are relating to single-family homes that sold in 2024. So in Madison, the median home values were $446,000 for last year. Compared that to the suburbs of Madison, which are around $495,000. Then in Milwaukee proper, the median home values jumped all the way down to $217,000, but the Milwaukee suburbs jumped up again to $427,000 for the median. And as far as the Goldilocks zone, just as the name suggests, it's right in the middle. It's at $388,900 for the median sales price of 2024. So yes, the Madison area is going to be a more expensive part of the state, but I do know that there are Milwaukee suburbs out there that are much more expensive than Madison or even the other Madison suburbs out there. So it really is just going to depend on which specific area you are looking in. If you want to dive deeper into areas that you are looking for in Wisconsin and the lifestyle that you are looking for, feel free to email me. The email is on the screen below. This connects directly to me, does not go to anyone else. So if you want to get in touch with me, that is the best way possible, and I will certainly respond to any questions. That'll do it for today's video. We are approaching 300 subscribers. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. Please like, comment, subscribe to continue that support. I really, really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you guys in the next video.